Now at 6, King County's biggest bust of human traffickers hits home, sending shockwaves through the community.
It's just shocking that that's happening in Bellevue.
In all, 12 women were rescued from forced prostitution, and more than a dozen sex traffickers were arrested in the sting.
Investigators also shut down the website where they allegedly set up their sexual encounters. We have team coverage on the trafficking roundup tonight. We begin with Cairo 7's Allison Grandy live in Bellevue. And Allison, people you spoke to are stunned to learn that this was going on right where they live.
Police say there were 2 brothels set up here at the Bell Center Apartments. People who live here very surprised when we told them that young women from Korea were held here as sex slaves.
I was shocked. I've lived here for a couple of years now, and you just never think.
Megan SOSNE lives in one of the apartment buildings where police raided and rescued victims of sex trafficking in Bellevue.
It's terrifying for the women.
Investigators say the sex trafficking ring operated 12 brothels with sex slaves from Korea in downtown Bellevue. 4 of the brothels were in units at the Avalon Towers on Bellevue Way, 2 more at Bell Center Apartments.
I can't even believe that. Like, we're literally here like every day.
Detectives identified the ringleader as Donald Mueller. No one came to the door at his house off 108th Avenue Northeast. Police say the men who rented the apartments and managed the women and used the websites called themselves the League. They met about once a month to discuss business. Police arrested them here at Bellevue's Pump House Pub on Tuesday night.
We're aware of no other jurisdiction in the country that has targeted an organized network of sex buyers for promoting prostitution, has jailed them and charged them with felonies, while at the same time shutting down the pipeline of the brothels and the pimps.
According to charging documents, Mueller rented an apartment for sex workers at the Avalon Maidenbower Apartments. That's the same building where a sex worker was murdered, her apartment set on fire last spring. Police say her killer, Song Wong, was a sex customer. The locations of these 12 brothels are right in the heart of downtown Bellevue. Police tell us those young women were forced to work 12 or 14-hour days. Many of them were paying off family debts to organized crime back in Korea. Live in Bellevue, Allison Grandy, Cairo 7 News.
13 men and 1 woman have been booked into jail, charged with promoting prostitution in connection with the Bellevue brothels. But could there be more arrests? Cairo 7's Amy Clancy is live now in downtown Seattle for us near the jail. Amy?
Well, there were 2 websites involved in this. One of them is the reviewboard.net, and one was set up by a local group that called itself The League. That site was called kgirlsdelight.com, and it sold sex mostly with Korean women. It had millions of visitors every month, and each of the 12 women trafficked at the downtown Bellevue apartments had up to 12 clients each day. So right now, thousands of their customers are probably wondering whether they will also be arrested for soliciting a prostitute. Today, the King County Sheriff said they could be, and they could be charged with a misdemeanor crime, but they most likely will not.
They're probably not going to get arrested, but we know who they are. And the reason we know who they are because they had to be vetted by this organization. Now, we're not going to go out and track these men down and arrest them, but they're all going to be in the case file. And all those case files are going to be subject to public disclosure.
Investigators know the Johns' identities because they had to provide an email and a photo of their driver's license before they could book time with the women being trafficked. And the sheriff said today, you bet, he hopes he is sending a message to anybody who considers buying sex that their name could become public. Reporting live in Seattle, Amy Clancy, Cairo 7 News.